All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It is that time of the week, folks, my weekly picks in the world of the National Football League. Now, we are here in week number 15. Things did not get started on the right foot for me last night as I picked the Las Vegas Raiders at home to defeat the Los Angeles Chargers. However, the injury to Raiders starting quarterback Derek Carr, along with some more suspect issues for the Silver and Black on defense, helped to open a door for a Chargers team that is looking to finish 2020 on a strong note. Now, with that said, we have two good games on tap for tomorrow, a litany of games on Sunday, as well as a Monday night affair. And with that said, here are the remainder of my picks for week number 15 in the NFL season. Now, you're going to have the 10-3 Buffalo Bills traveling tomorrow afternoon to Mile High to take on the Denver Broncos. Buffalo comes into this contest favored by 5 points, and they have a lot to play for as the Bills are closing in on their first AFC East division title since 1995. You look at this Bills defense, they are staunch and they want to go and pin their ears back and put some pressure on this Broncos offense. But I look at the way that quarterback Josh Allen is playing for Buffalo, along with wide receiver Stephon Diggs. And like I said, during the offseason, once the Bills acquired Diggs from the Minnesota Vikings, the onus was on the youngster Allen to step up and take his game to the next level. He has done that, and I think he and the Buffalo Bills are going to get a step closer to getting that AFC East title with the 27-17 victory. Now, tomorrow night, you're going to have the 4-9 Carolina Panthers traveling to Lambeau to take on the 10-3 Green Bay Packers. Green Bay comes into this contest favored by 8 points, and rightfully so, as they are rolling. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers is having another Aaron Rodgers type season, and the Pack is looking to get that NFC North crown as well as contend for the top spot in the NFC. I love the way that this Packers offense is flowing right now. I like the way that their defense attacks and gets to the ball. The Carolina Panthers are dealing with some key injuries on their club, and when you're dealing with key injuries, the last thing you want to do is face a team that's playing good like the Packers. This I'm going to take Green Bay at home in this one by the score of 34-19. Now, moving on to Sunday, you're going to have the 8-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to take on the 4-9 Atlanta Falcons. And for Tampa Bay, they come into this game favored by 6 points. They looked solid last week. They weren't crisp, but they did look solid in their victory at home versus the Minnesota Vikings. I've said it before, and I will say it again. The key to this Tampa Bay team is running the football with Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. I know of all of the talent that Tampa Bay has at the wide receiver position, but what they need to do is get their running game established early. Don't go away from it, and when the time is right, then you go to the passing attack. You look at this Bucs secondary; they're very opportunistic in forcing turnovers, and I think they could have at least one on Sunday versus Falcons veteran quarterback Matt Ryan. Make no mistake, the Bucs are the better team. They're looking at a playoff berth for the first time since 2007. I'm going to take Tampa Bay on the road in this one by the score of 30-24. Now, at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, it's the 5-8 San Francisco 49ers taking on the 4-9 Dallas Cowboys. And don't look now, Dallas is still alive and well in that NFC East division race. You look at Dallas right now, they got some confidence last week as they beat up on the Cincinnati Bengals. The beleaguered defense was able to go out there and force some turnovers, and that's going to be big because Dallas defensively now has some confidence going up against the 49ers offense that has had their issues all season long. San Francisco, they have their injuries but on defense, but they still play hard, and they want to go out there and make life tough for Cowboys veteran quarterback Andy Dalton. And I think this Niners front seven does have the ability to rattle Andy Dalton and force him into some turnovers in this contest. I think this is going to be a back and forth affair throughout, but I'm going to take Dallas at home by the score of 24-20. Now, moving on, you're going to have the 9-4 Tennessee Titans hosting the 5-8 Detroit Lions. And for Tennessee, they come into this contest favored by 10 points, and I expect to see a big dose of running back Derrick Henry early and often for this Titans offense, because as Derrick Henry goes, this entire team for the Tennessee Titans goes. You look at the Titans defense, they've been up and down all season long and they've had their injuries, but I expect them to go out there and put some pressure on Lions veteran quarterback Matt Stafford in this one. I think what you're going to see on Sunday, I think the Titans are going to get the ball, whether they win the coin toss or not, but their first possession, they're going to go out there and look to establish Henry, get some points on the board, and put the Lions in chase mode, because once you put the Lions in chase mode, it kind of predicates what they can do. Detroit has had issues for several years in regards to running the football that has not gotten better, and I think this Titans defense pins their ears back and comes after Stafford. Thus, I'm going to take the Titans at home by the score of 37-20. Now you're going to have the 9-4 Indianapolis Colts hosting the 4-9 Houston Texans. Indy's at home and they're favored by 7.5 points, but they cannot overlook this Texans team because they're very game. They're going to play hard, and they gave the Colts all that they can handle a couple of weeks ago, led by quarterback Deshaun Watson. But I look at this Colts team, they're opportunistic with the turnovers. We've seen that all season long with this club, and they know what is at stake here. They cannot afford to not be able to keep up with the Titans, as both of these teams are looking to win that AFC South division. Indianapolis will have to work for it, but I'm going to take the Colts at home by the score of 34-27. Now, an AFC East battle in South Florida is you're going to have the 8-5 Miami Dolphins hosting the 6-7 New England Patriots. And for New England, they've had a couple of days extra rest. Of course, last week on Thursday Night Football, they were taken behind the woodshed on the road versus the Los Angeles Rams, and they want to try to find a way to get back on track. And I look at this Patriots defense led by head coach Bill Belichick. One thing that Bill Belichick has always done over the years, he has cooked up a tough defensive scheme for young quarterbacks who have not seen him. Enter Dolphins rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, who is new on the scene. He has not seen what Bill Belichick can cook up for him, and I guarantee you, Bill Belichick is going to throw a defense out there on Sunday afternoon that Tagovailoa has yet to see. The Patriots have had their issues on offense all season long, but I think the extra few days of preparation will allow New England to get that running attack going, put quarterback Cam Newton in the right spots. And because of that, I'm going to take the Patriots on the road in this one by the score of 22-19. Now, you're going to have the 6-7 Chicago Bears traveling to take on the 6-7 Minnesota Vikings. Both of these teams, are looking to hang around in the wild card picture in the NFC, while for the loser, their season could all be but over. Now, this Bears team, they started off strong, mainly because of their defense, as the offense has had issues all season long. And it's really tough when you rely so much on your defense to keep you in contests and your offense can't score points consistently. For the Vikings, they took it on the chin last week on the road versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think they want to get back on track. And for the Vikings to do that, they have to establish the running attack early with running back Dalvin Cook. I think it's going to be important to see who really sets things up on the line of scrimmage. Will it be this Vikings offensive line, or will it be this Bears defensive front seven led by Khalil Mack? This is going to be a typical back and forth affair between two longtime division rivals, but I'm going to take Minnesota at home by the score of 23-19. Now you're going to have the 9-4 Seattle Seahawks traveling to Landover to take on the 6-7 Washington football team. And for Washington, they're sitting in the catbird seat in first place in the NFC East, especially last week following their victory over over the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants loss to the Arizona Cardinals. But for Washington in this game, it's going to be a little bit tougher, especially defensively, as they have to go out there and find a way to slow down Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson. Now, Russell Wilson has been more prone to throwing the interceptions in recent weeks, and his Washington defense really needs to find a way to go out there and exploit that. But on the flip side, for Washington, can they do enough with their running attack versus the Seahawks defense? The Seahawks defense has not been good all season long, and typically when you can't do something, it shows up at the most inopportune time. I think Washington is going to give Seattle all that they can handle, but the Seahawks will find a way to pull away late in the fourth quarter. I'm going to take Seattle for the 30-19 win. Now you're going to have the 1-12 Jacksonville Jaguars Jaguars, traveling to Baltimore to take on the 8-5 Ravens. Baltimore comes into this contest favored by 13 points, and they are looking good off an offense all of a sudden now that they have quarterback Lamar Jackson under center. As Lamar Jackson goes, this Ravens offense goes. But I want to see what this Ravens defense is going to do, because when you're facing a team that is such a big underdog like Jacksonville, a team that has lost their last 12 contests in a row, you want to go out there and set the tone early. You want to not allow them to get any rhythm. You want them to put them behind the 8 ball early, and more importantly, put them out of their misery. Baltimore has won their last 2. They know what they have to do in order to get a wild card spot in the AFC, and I think the Ravens will definitely be up for the challenge in this one. Thus, I'm going to take Baltimore at home by the score of 31-18. Now you're going to have the winless New York Jets traveling to Inglewood to take on the 9-4 Los Angeles Rams. And for the Rams, this is like a college homecoming game right here. The Rams come into this contest favored big by 17 points over a team that is basically looking to get to the finish line. For the Jets, it's very difficult for you to win contest when you can't score points. We saw them only score 3 points last week on the road versus the Seattle Seahawks, and it's not going to be easier going up against a staunch defense led by Aaron Donald at defensive tackle. For the Rams, I expect them to get their running game going early, put the pressure on this Jets defense, and honestly, this game will be over by halftime. The Rams are favored by 17 in this one. I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to take Los Angeles at home by the score of 34-13. Now, moving along, you're going to have the 4-8-1 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to take on the 7-6 Arizona Cardinals. And for Arizona, they were able to get back on track last week with a dominating road win over the New York Giants. While for Philly, they shocked some people in upsetting the New Orleans Saints last Sunday at home. Philly went to rookie quarterback Jalen Hurts, and this offense looked better, and the defense played better as well. And you want to see if that momentum can carry over to the next contest. Defensively, the Eagles have to find a way to slow down Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray and all of his scrambling ability. But now you look at this Cardinals defense, they have to find a way to be up for the challenge to slow down the rookie Jalen Hurts, because just like it is with Kyler Murray, if Hurts doesn't see it, he's definitely going to take off and use his legs. I think this is going to be a back and forth affair, but Arizona will find a way to pull away late. Thus, I'm going to take the Bird Gang at home by the score of 31-23. Now, you're going to have the 12-1 Kansas City Chiefs traveling to the Superdome in New Orleans to take on the 10-3 Saints in what could be a Super Bowl preview. You look at this Chiefs team, they're rolling for the most part. They've met all of the challenges as they're looking to get back to the Super Bowl and win for the second consecutive year. You look at this Chiefs offense versus this Saints defense. The Chiefs offense is arguably the best in the NFL once again, because you look at the speed that they have at the wide receiver position with the likes of Tyreek Hill. You look at the Saints defense. They're one of the best defenses in the NFL. Didn't show at times last week versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe the Saints did overlook the Eagles. We don't know. But New Orleans definitely defensively has to be up for this challenge to try to slow down Patrick Mahomes and this offense. The return of quarterback Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints will be big. We know what New Orleans is doing a lot this season with running back Alvin Kamara, but it definitely helps their cause when you have a veteran running back like Brees back there, quarterback rather, like Brees, getting the job done. I think New Orleans will be up for the challenge at home. They know the importance of this game, especially after they lost last week on the road to Philly. I'm going to take the Saints in this one by the score of 30-27. Now on Sunday night, it's going to be the 9-4 Cleveland Browns traveling to the Meadowlands to take on the 5-8 New York Football Giants. Cleveland comes into this contest favored by 6.5 points. They suffered a heartbreaking loss last week at home versus the Baltimore Ravens on Monday night, and the Browns need to find a way to get back on track with their running game. So I expect a heavy dose of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt in this contest, going up versus a Giants defense that is dealing with some injuries. No James Bradbury at cornerback for the Giants, as he was put on a COVID list, and that's huge for the Giants on offense because Bradbury has been playing like one of the better cornerbacks this season. On offense for the Giants, their struggles continue. Daniel Jones, he's had a hamstring injury. Now he has an ankle injury, and I'm still not sold on him as a passer. And when you put all of that together, this Browns defense could be pinning their ears back and coming back, whether it's going to be coming after Daniel Jones or veteran quarterback Colt McCoy. It won't be pretty for the Giants. It's been good to see them get on a winning streak, but the winning streak ended last week, and I think they're going to find themselves nursing a losing streak now, as I'm going to take Cleveland on the road by the score of 27-17. And finally on Monday night, you're going to have the 11-2 Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to take on the 10-1 Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh comes into this contest favored by 13 points, and rightfully so. They've lost their last 2 after winning their first 11. And for Pittsburgh, typically they play down to the level of their competition when they are favored big. They're going to have some struggles in this game because it is a division game. It's late in the season, and the Bengals are not exactly going to roll over. But I think what Pittsburgh needs to do, they need to go out there and find some cohesion on offense first and foremost. Their defense has been playing lights out all season long, but their offense and this passing game with Big Ben, they've got to find a way to step up and take some pressure off of that defense. I think Cincinnati will make it competitive for the first half, but Pittsburgh has more talent, and they're going to find a way to pull away in the second half. This I'm going to take the Steelers by the score of 31-20. So folks, those are my picks for week number 15, and as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to thank all of you subscribers out there, and if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.